Hello, 5th and 6th grade coaches. Thank you so much for coaching this season. I just wanted to go over a few things with you and make sure you had everything figured out that you needed or any questions answered you needed in the training. We just want to go over a few things with you. I'm getting my sheet here to make sure I have it. I sent you all an email with some bullet points. Make sure you read all those. The biggest thing and the biggest challenge you guys are going to have is playing time. What I suggest is that you use the Upward app or the Upward book, the coach's handbook in the back, and I'll take a minute here and show you what I'm talking about. All right, player rotations. In the back of your book, there's actually a list for player rotations, but it only goes up to like 8 or 10, so you're going to have to add some names underneath it if you want to do that one. But I have sent you one and attached it that's got a sample on it to show you what I'm talking about. Basically, if you play every player on a rotational system, meaning you start with the first 5, then go to the next 5, then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you would substitute them in, though. You have to do like halfway through each quarter. So if quarters are 6 minutes long, after 3 minutes, you want to sub that next group in. Then you finish that quarter. A new group starts the second quarter, and then a new group comes in at the end of the second quarter. If you do this, by the time you hit the 4th quarter, everybody on your team will have played 1 quarter and met the official what is expected. Everybody's expected to at least play 1 quarter. So then in that last quarter, you can literally put in your sharpshooters and let them have at it. I would recommend they want every kid to play some in each half as well, which makes it a little trickier. You could maybe sub them in with your 4 best players, however you want to do it. But at least this allows you to get your best players in at the end of the game. You can use your own system. This is just one that's easy and works. And now I'm going to show you a chart and show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so you guys are going to have a copy of this. Y'all can use the blank form and plug your players in, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. That gives you 12. So here at the bottom is a sample of one of my dream teams, of course. Obviously, they're all old school players, but as you can see, in the first quarter, I have my first 5 players playing right there. And then in about 3 minutes in, I buzz them in to get them subbed in, and then we've got the next 5. I still got two players that haven't even hit the floor, and I'm in the second quarter. So I put those 2 players in to start the second with the top 3, okay? And then I go some middle level players, all right? So we got them in. We have halftime. At halftime, everybody's played at least a half of a quarter, and then these players, once you hit here, have played a full quarter to start that. And then basically, honestly, at the beginning of the third quarter, the second half of the third quarter, you're pretty much on a free-for-all at that point. So you've got a quarter and a half that if you had to play everybody, that was your better players, you could. But obviously, if you feel like your other players are worthy, let them in there. We don't want everybody just playing 1 quarter except for your best players. We want everybody to play as much as possible. But if you use this system, it at least frees you up to be able to put your best players in at the end of a game if you're trying to get the W. Because y'all are playing for a championship in this league. The way it'll work is you'll play 6 weeks. You'll play all the teams 3 times. Then the 7th week, we will have the team that's the 1st seed play against the team that's the 4th seed. And then the 2nd and 3rd teams play. And then the final week, we'll play first game for 3rd place. Second game will be the winners of the games of previous week for the championship. Best of luck. Hope this helps. Okay, so that's one way you can do it, because that way, and you get in the last quarter and it's crunch time, you really want your good kids on the floor, so you want to make sure everybody's played and you can get the team you want on there. Everybody gets 5 fouls per game, of course. You can't press if you're winning by more than 15. You need to come back and get in the box. And so that's how we're going to work it this season. I don't think we'll run into that very much. Teams are fairly evenly distributed after seeing all of them practice at least once. I think we'll have a good 5th and 6th grade league. Remember everything we talked about. Normal 5 fouls. Normal, if your team gets to 7 fouls, you'll shoot 1 and 1. If you get to 10 fouls, that's the bonus. If you end up going to overtime, that's a 2-minute overtime. You only have 4 timeouts per game. You'll get 1 more if you go to overtime each time you go to overtime. But 4 timeouts per game used as you see fit, okay? Whenever you want to use them, you use them. But you only get 4 per game, and I don't care how you use them. If you guys got any questions, feel free to give me a call. You can play zone defense. You can play man-to-man. We'd like kids to learn how to play both, obviously, because it's still teaching them everything. So try and work both of those. And if you want to press, go for it. Just a little coaching tip of advice. I've never seen a team that just had a shooter that could shoot lights out from three. Most teams have, if their best players are usually ones that can take it to the goal. Most of the scoring is on fast breaks. If you can keep people from, if you can get back on defense, you're going to be a very good team. If you can stay tight in the lane and play a zone defense sometimes, that would be a very good thing. That's just some coaching tips from seeing 5th and 6th grade multiple seasons. I hope you guys the best of luck, and thanks for coaching.